is open. And where did you think? I mean, we can't honestly be that surprised that we've transitioned from the Lil Kims and the Trinas of the world to where we are now. We can't be that
No, I'm
surprised,
not
y'all.
saying that. I'm
Come
not
on,
saying that. That's why I'm
come
saying.
on, and that's why I'm just like, well, like, I mean, and I
But
even like that.
I guarantee you, Osiris wouldn't have did that shit to Trina or Lil Kim. I guarantee you, he wouldn't have tried that shit with Megan Thee Stallion. He wouldn't have tried that shit with Nicki Minaj
I don't
because
know.
they keep that shit on music.
Yeah.
Ain't now nigga done really done did them women like that. The other women that rap about sex and shit like that. I mean,
Well, I
as
mean,
far as like being big, bold ass to do it
I
on
hear you on that.
camera.
I hear you on that, and that's why I was saying it kind of goes to her name. When your name personifies that, then it doesn't matter what you're trying to personify in music. Your name is Sookie with the good pussy. There's only so. I mean, you can't come in there and say, you can't walk into an interview and say, "Hi, Sookie with the good pussy." You want to talk about something classy today? Bitch, your name is Sookie with the good pussy. So I mean, she kind of got.
Exactly.
So I mean that part just kind of is what it is. I mean, her name alone is gonna set her up for
But
that.
she promotes that on a regular basis.
Her
Trina was,
name is
I'm the
Sookie with
baddest.
the good pussy.
I
I don't
know.
see
That's
what
the
else is she
whole.
supposed to promote.
That's what I'm.
What else is she supposed to promote? That is her name is Sookie with the good pussy. What the fuck else is
I'm
she
saying
supposed
the
to promote?
comparison between her, how you tried to compare her to Trina,
No,
and
no.
I said no.
What I'm
Trina
comparing
was
is,
about getting money.
but I'm comparing the music, and the music was raunchy in its own right. Let's just be. I mean, it was, and especially in that day, like today, things are even more socially acceptable. So, and we're a little older. So now, I mean, let's be real. We're a little older. So it's like,
Well,
that shit a little over the top. And you know who we sound like? We sound like our parents who was listening to Lil Kim making Sprite cans disappear in their mouth. And they was looking at us like, what the fuck are y'all listening to?
you know what? Okay,
We
then
just getting older. We just
I
getting
will
older.
give you I will give you that. You're
We
absolutely
just getting
right.
older, fam. That's all it is.
You're absolutely right. I will give you that. Now, damn, I hate to do it, but fuck, I gotta
Let's
agree
do
with
it.
April. I gotta agree with April too.
Sunshine. Hey, you know what?
April
It's
is
probably
Two
raining.
things
always
can be true at
It's
the
probably
same
raining.
yes,
It's probably
time.
yeah, two
raining
things can
in
be true at the
hell.
same
It's probably
time.
raining in hell right now. Y'all niggas agreeing.
You know what? Kiss
Yeah,
my ass. First of all, mother is always right. Okay.
but no, you know what? I gotta
Just
also
because you
go with
white don't mean you
April
always right, April.
because your April is right. And two things sometimes can be true at the same time. When you look back, what I'm saying is we grew up on Lil Kim, uh what's my girl Foxy Brown,
Oh, I miss
Rod
Foxy. I think
Digger,
Foxy has so much more to give.
yeah, Rod Digger,
Mm-hmm.
MC Light. I mean, I can go down the list, the Brat, because
Right.
I
They
can go
had
down the list
quality
of
behind
females.
their music versus what they body and they mouth. Yeah,
Right, Trina.
Trina rapped about getting money, being a businesswoman, being the baddest bitch, all that shit and rapped in one. Lil Kim sparked it off, but Trina took it a little further, and then you get Nicki who took it
And
a step
even
further, and then you got
but watch
Cardi that
this.
took it.
A
Have y'all
step
actually
further.
listened to that
Meg, who took it a
album?
step further. And now you got a chick that just said, fuck it
They
and put pussy in
just
her
took
name.
it to infinity and beyond.
Well, like I said, I listen to them, and I will say this: if you ever listen to a whole Nicki Minaj album, there's range to her music.
Oh, absolutely.
E- Every song,
She can
every
actually
song
spit.
is not um "Eat My
And
Pussy"
Megan too.
and okay, I don't know, but I'm talking about what we grew up on. Trina,
Hmm.
I just think now it is now they're promoting it like that's the only way I'm gonna get them to listen to my music. So
Well, I
let
mean,
me
that's
get
no
out
different.
there.
But let's all right. And wow,
But
I
that's
can't.
like
But
the rap music with the men.
that's what I was getting ready to say because I'm like, wow. Let me, we can't sit here and chastise the women for sexualizing themselves when on the men's side, it's all drill music.
And not only that, they rapped about selling dope in the 90s and shit. And now they done took it a step further to doing the fucking drugs in the
Well,
music.
that's not a step further.
I
That's
was gonna say, 'cause they
actually
been doing
that's
that
just,
shit.
that's just a whole different step.
Yeah, they been doing that
Because
shit.
it's kind of funny. I mean, like we grew up.
And they rapped about how they'll kill a nigga in a song to now
That's
they
stupid
telling
too.
how they killed the nigga in the
Right now,
song.
that is the same. That is the
Hold on.
same.
Hey,
But
Diamond,
we
what's
were
good?
raised.
Diamond,
Hey,
Diamond,
what's
talk to
up?
us.
What's up?
Diamond.
I've been listening to y'all. Just
Okay, well, listen, hey, everybody that's tuned in, man, listen, before we even get the show started, we just be on our own shit. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please make sure you like, share, comment. We have a great show lined up for you guys today. Now, what are we talking about today? I have
Everything,
absolutely, I'm gonna say
everything.
everything because I have absolutely no clue.
Everybody from Florida, because that seemed to be all the topics today.
Oh shit! Shots fired. Shots fired.
I ain't fucking with Florida man. Florida man kind of
Shots fired.
Florida can't get right.
Hey, look, man. But
man.
we got a great show for you guys that are tuned in, man. Again, please make sure you like, share, comment. Let's go on and run down, and do the little protocol. I guess we're gonna start with the ladies first, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. What's good, Diamond? How you doing?
hey, Diamond, I'm good. Just ready to get out of school.
Already, and congratulations to you. I see that you will be graduating. Can you let us know the date you're graduating?
August the 5th, 2024,
Congratulations.
10 a.m.
Ooh,
Congratulations. Welcome to the Black and Hooded Club.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, man, I understand. That struggle was real. Grad school was no joke.
Hey, and you know what, Brock? When I get to you, I know what you do for a living, and ran across another brother that's similar to you who has his own distribution type stuff where
Interesting.
he's in the operating room. And so when I get to you, I'll talk about that. We
Okay.
also got our local white girl. We got her for what do they call it? Where you got to have at least one white person on the show or at least one black person.
Oh, it's our affirmative action hire.
Yes, to make sure we have covered ourselves in our affirmative action. We do have a white girl on the show too. She goes by the name of April O'Neil. What's good, April? Oh, now you don't want to talk. I know you hear me. April,
Hey, if your white adjacent ass, where you at?
Y'all.
I know.
No, my phone was tripping. I don't know what the hell happened. But good
That's
evening,
good as
everybody,
shit.
everyone, whatever.
with your white adjacent ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
What
you
you
the one.
did.
No,
What
that's
phone
you,
network? And we also got our funny
April, with
man.
the good cooking.
We got our funny man in the building. Easy Ray, what's good, Easy?
Nothing much, man. Just hanging, chilling.
Already. Now, B, back to you. I was looking at, if I'm not mistaken, last night, I was looking at Ghetto Boys Reloaded.
Mm-hmm.
And for you guys that don't know, the Ghetto Boys have a YouTube channel. I don't like to say fucking podcast because
I don't think theirs is a podcast. It's
it's not a podcast. It's
It's
really
like
not
a show.
podcast.
it's
Yeah,
a
it's an
show more
actual
than it is
show.
anything.
Yeah, it's a show,
And
but
that's not throwing shade either. It's whatever.
right,
Anyway.
right, yeah, people so quick to throw the word podcast and shit out there and really don't know what the fuck is what. But I was watching that show last night and it had a gentleman on there. I didn't get his name, but by profession, um, he is he has his own distribution. And just like how when I first met you, you said, well, you know what? I'm in the operating room with the surgeons and I teach them or make sure that they're using our what do you call it?
Implants and
Yeah,
instrumentation properly.
equipment and everything correctly.
Right.
And this gentleman did that. He had his own distribution, and he's in the emergency room, you know, in there with the surgeons just in case something happened. You know, he know how to tell them what to do with their equipment. So
Right.
I found that pretty dope because other than you was the only dude that I knew that did the shit. So, you know, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that's what's
And
up.
it ain't that many of us in this industry, just being real. It's man.
No, I agree because, like I said, up until I watched that show last night, and he just happened to, Willie D asked him about surgeries and what he meant by having to know about why he have to be up so early in the morning.
Right.
And then he went into it, and that's how I found out his profession. But he was actually on there for something else, like Love Doctor or whatever the fuck it is. But I thought that was pretty dope. But with that being said, man, we got B Rock in the building. What's good, B?
What's good, family, man? Just a little side note. Certain things happen in your life that make you feel like you accomplished things, or you've done this and you've done that. Today, I finally feel like I'm getting fucking old. My oldest daughter turned 20 today, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? So I'm feeling old today, y'all. But all of that said, man, happy birthday to my oldest. And I'm just ready to do our thing on the show like we always do. So let's get it.
Already sending much love to B Rock's
Happy
oldest.
birthday.
Happy birthday from the Petty Crew. You guys know who I am. I am Boss Hog. You can find me on Instagram, Hayes Who. You can see all that on my little picture in the corner. And then also on Facebook, Hayes Who. Please follow me because your ass definitely can add me as a friend. I had to remove that button. But with that being said, man, we have a great show lined up for you guys today. We're going to be talking about a wife who I guess apparently told her husband that she done had, I guess,
So that she wanted
dreams
to. Yeah. Go ahead.
that she done had dreams or whatever you want to call it, fantasies of getting pounded by 3 different dudes. I got something to say about that shit. I got questions. Then we're gonna talk about this young lady who done took the internet by storm. She even got Shaquille O'Neal's eye. And this young lady works at Home Depot. So we're gonna get into that because I think she also did a live in which we're gonna play and discuss. Then we're gonna jump into who's always a part of our show. We just might as well make them honorary members of the Petty Crew. And if y'all don't know who I'm talking about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, because I swear for Lord, we didn't talk about their ass more than anybody.
Too
on our
much.
show. I shit you not. They definitely give us content to talk about.
Indeed.
However, what is so unique about this conversation we're going to have about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, these people are multi-millionaires. They are beyond wealthy. They kids go see money, and they kids will go see money. That's how wealthy they are. However, Gabrielle Union made it be known on the interview that they do split bills 50-50. Then Dwayne Wade, Mr. Social, he goes on to Club Shay Shay, and he goes into detail about what they mean by going 50-50. Now, with that being said, already I'm shooting at all the basic bras out there in the world. I hate to say this, but it really is true. I've been doing that Kevin Samuel shit before Kevin Samuel was doing Kevin Samuel shit, so it don't change here. And so if Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, who got millions and millions of dollars, can go 50-50, you basic ass broad shouldn't have a problem going 50-50 with your Average man. But listen, with that being said, that's gonna be the lineup for tonight's show. But before we get started, I was telling the show, my co-host, that what is his name? Governor Greg Abbott. You know,
Hot Wheels.
we are here in the great state of Texas. And in the great state of Texas, we sit alone. We do our own thing the way we want to do it down here in Texas. We do not follow nobody else's tune but ours. And with that being said, Greg Abbott had signed into law a bill that will eliminate mandatory inspections, having the emissions test. However, there is a catch to that because that's not everybody in the state of Texas. It is only for a select group of people. And
What are those group of people?
Yeah, I'm gonna if I can find the damn tab, please forgive me.
Do I fall in? Do I fit in?
No, you don't fit in, sadly. I'm sorry. No, you don't fit in on this one. I thought I was like that too. Here we go. Let me pull up the story real quick. Damn, I thought I had it up and I got y'all on my screen. Oh, yeah, we'll do it this way.
Oh, Hot Wheels. I always be up to some shit.
Yeah, so here we go.
Hot Wheels leading the way.
Let's see. Here we go. Okay, come on. I'm trying to let the video be the one do the talking instead of going into the story. So here we go. All right. So, with that being said, it is just that simple.
What do y'all think about that? Didn't hear nothing, bro.
We didn't hear nothing.
Oh, nothing at all.
Hold on. Please, I apologize for that. I don't know why, but I will get it back up like I told the crew. I'm trying to play with all this equipment, so, you know, again, just bear with me. And I think I know why I didn't play through there. Hold on 1 second. But while y'all waiting on me, let me go back to it. I know why.
Well, he also signed a bill banning diversity offices at schools.
What you mean? Like what?
It says signs law banning diversity offices in Texas higher education. Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott has signed a bill that will ban diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) offices and initiatives across higher education institutions in the state.
State-funded institutions or all institutions? I guess it don't really matter, but I'm just curious more than anything.
April? Brock is asking.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. I was saying that it didn't specify if it was state funded. It just says across the board, I guess. It says colleges will close starting in January 2024 and activities that seek to promote certain groups of individuals over others based on race, ethnicity, and gender will also come to an end. And the bill also prohibits diversity statements for job applicants at Texas universities, as well as mandatory DEI training for any purpose. Okay. So I guess it's just across the board.
Yeah. But like I was saying to you guys, I'm sorry y'all didn't hear it. I guess I had to put the audio through the system or whatever. But in a nutshell, Governor Greg Abbott, according to the story, on Tuesday signed a bill that will eliminate the annual vehicle inspection requirement for most vehicles in Texas. If you are in a very heavy populated area, this
Okay.
does not apply to you.
Oh
So that's
hell.
Cameron, that's
Right.
anywhere, Dallas County, you name it. If
Yeah.
you are in a very heavy populated county, this does not apply to you. Now, strangely enough,
I'm moving to the country.
I'm gonna say strangely enough, in rural areas
Okay.
where shit ain't really that busy in the first place.
Yeah. Which oddly enough, I kind of get that.
Nah, my nigga, I don't get that.
If I'm in the if I'm living in Fairfield, Texas,
oh god.
I mean, I'm saying that specifically because I got my family got land down there. So if
Uh-huh.
I'm living in Fairfield, Texas, the hell I need to get an annual emissions test for? I probably ain't really going nowhere.
Well,
And Republicans don't give a damn about the air any damn way, so I don't understand why we still gotta have it anyway.
yeah, but
Money.
I can get why we have it. You know, you definitely want to check and make sure you're not putting pollution in the air. Because he didn't say that they didn't have to do it. He just said that it's not required like how it is now.
It's not getting required annually. It might be like
Right before we get it, but he didn't say that you didn't have to do it. You still got to do that shit. It's just not connected to you getting your inspection. I mean, your stuff renewed. Every year, every time they come in, before you do it online or whatever, they got to make sure they have a up to date inspection on you, and then they allow you.
Right.
Yeah, so like I said, in a rural area where shit is already slow, all they done did is just,
made it even slower.
Yeah, made it slower. That's it. Lawlessness. Again, we in Texas. Apparently, they think we the Wild Wild West and shit. But
we kind of are.
Yeah. Damn, bro. Okay, we got an antagonist today.
I mean, that's how people view us. Like Texas, we just do our own thing.
Right. I agree. But with that being said, man, let's go on and jump into some of these little old juicy conversations. So, again, the way we doing this show now is yes, we prepare for this show. But for y'all that don't know, we get a lot of stories through the week. And so it's just best to be able to go through all of them so you know what the hell we're going to talk about when the show comes. Because we randomly decide on what we go do. So what I'm going to pop up first, we got to talk about this whole Pound Town situation. So with that being said, let me pull that up. And I want you guys to weigh in on it. And we're going to let Easy Ray take it first before we jump in. I know he's in meetings while he does this show, so definitely want to get him involved. Here we go.
Easy Ray, have a libation with me.
Is that apple juice?
Sure. Sure.
Randomly say, I want to get taken to Pound Town by 3 at the same time. Will that make you look at me differently?
Why are y'all eating Cheerios?
Because they say they want us to be comfortable, but where are we supposed to be comfortable to have these conversations?
Let me ask you.
Your cousin.
She just did the shit from earlier.
Is it okay?
She went to the furthest end of the spectrum.
You dropped 3 at breakfast.
Thank you.
I'm trying to.
At breakfast?
I'm trying. You know what I mean?
I'm asking when the right time
this
is.
Just isn't the. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when we having dinner,
Keita,
having some wine.
I got your back here because in real life, I have a friend who went through something like this, where she told her husband, like, "Oh, I've always had the fantasy of sleeping with 2 dudes at once." And when I tell you, her husband has not let that go, and it's been 3 years.
Do we know any of these people, or are they in Texas, or do we have
one of them is in Dallas. The girl who at the beginning, I don't know if she still stays from Dallas. She has a huge TikTok following. But she, I don't know if she still lives in
I can
Dallas,
see why
but
she
she's
got a
from
huge
Dallas.
TikTok following. Everybody want to know, can they get a piece?
I mean,
So what? We want to know if that's all right, or what we think
that's
about
how
it.
do you feel about it as a whole? Like, what's your take on that entire thing?
I don't care what she want to do. You know, my thing is, unless my wife want to do it, then that's the only time I might have an issue.
But
But hey,
that's what she's getting. That's what she was getting at. Like, you know, she said if you she's sitting at the table with her dude,
yeah.
and she tells him that that's her fantasy,
But
is he gonna look at her differently?
That was some back in the day when you young type of thing. Something like that wouldn't shock me, and I'm like, oh, I'm all in. But I don't think ever a person I talked to said that. I was always cool with it when somebody else said it all day, but never.
It's cool when they do it.
You know, you asked me, do I want to get in? But yeah, nobody wants their girl to be that girl. You know, nobody want that.
Okay.
So that's what I think anyway.
Boss Hog, you want to go, or ladies, y'all want to chime in?
Well, I just got something real quick. I really wish they invite us to be on them shows, man. I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm gonna start reaching out to them because I think them niggas really ain't really real. I'm sorry. Who really, what? Listen, that might be a woman's fantasy. It might. There's a difference between knowing you can say anything and wisdom to know just not to say shit at all. If you know your husband does not roll like that, in which you will find out early in the relationship if you asking questions,
right?
Then you would know, even if you can even present that on the table. That's why that clip, I really wish it gave me more meat, because that little soundbite, and then you see her ass get all sassy and shit. I hate that. I really do. Like they be really saying something. And I'm like, I'm saying to myself, when I seen it, you ain't woman enough to tell your husband that shit. That shit sounds good. But let's be real. I would love to pose some wives and ask them, have they ever told they dude that they have had fantasies of having two men? And that includes her husband, and I'm gonna even bring in boyfriends, husband, boyfriend, and another dude. Let me just say this real quick. The day a bro would ever tell me that shit before I say it to her, I would not be talking to her. I'm done. Y'all got the rest of it. I'm just that serious.
I mean, it's no difference than a man wanting two bitches and fantasizing about two bitches. I mean,
false.
You alive?
Bullshit. And if a man can express that he fantasizes about having two bitches, then she should be able to fantasize about having two men. And if she, and hell, we already see that bitches is bold about it, because we got a whole. So evidently, there's some niggas that are down with the shit.
Say that last part again, because you kind of cut out. So we missed like the whole front part of your sentence.
They try to delete you once you started talking.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, for real.
I said that it's no different than a man saying he fantasizes, and it's a difference between she saying she fantasizes. Hell, I fantasize Tupac being my husband. So I mean, as far as fantasizing, and it's some niggas who say, yeah, that's their dream, but it's some niggas who actually want their girl to do a threesome, and some women feel like they have to do that in order to keep their man. And so if that's what she wants, then why is it not reciprocated? Because there's plenty of niggas out here that have threesomes and they girl don't be wanting to do the shit, but they do it in order to please their man. And it's some couples that actually do the shit together because she wants to do it too. But if that's her fantasy, that's her fantasy. You can't stop her from fantasizing about having two niggas. And then on top of that, obviously, it's some niggas that's down with the shit because, like I said, it's a TV show called Brother Husbands.
Oh, I never heard that. I heard Sister Wives. But yeah,
They got Brother Husbands. Remember that clip he showed a couple weeks ago with the woman and her two boyfriends? And then she was trying to bring in a third, I think.
They are simps.
But yeah, it's people polyamorous and it's all kinds of relationships out there. If you want to get into it, it's there for you.
Right, but she shouldn't be criticized for her feeling like that or wanting that because niggas do it all day, every day, and pressure they girl into doing the shit.
I'm about to move to Utah and get me a house built with like 3 families in it.
Okay. Diamond, what you
That'll
got?
Diamond, talk to me, man.
Well, first of all, I don't understand why, if it's okay for a man to be with two women, what's the problem with a woman being with two men? I mean, you know, you got this, she needs to pay some bills and a woman needs to bring this to the table, bring that to the table, but then you want to flip the script and say, it's okay for a man to be with two women, but it ain't okay for a woman to be with two men. Hell, if that's her fantasy and that's what she's acting out, what's wrong with it?
Got you. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. So here's my thing.
Go.
I totally agree with that last statement you just made, Diamond. I totally agree with the back part of the statement you made, April. Here's my question for both of you, and it's a simple yes or no. Would you have an issue with dating a bisexual man?
That's my preference, to not date a bisexual man.
Okay,
so
yeah,
no,
that's fine. Okay, cool.
I
Diamond.
would.
And that's my preference as well.
Okay, cool.
I don't want to date a bisexual man. I'm sorry.
All right, cool. I got that. Boss Hog, would you have an issue with dating a bisexual woman?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Easy
no,
Ray, would you have an issue dating a
not a
bisexual
problem
woman?
with it. Not a problem with it. I want 2 of those.
This is where I kind of think it's a little different. Now, I get what y'all are saying that men have pressured women into those situations, and that part is fucked up. You shouldn't pressure your partner into that if they're not into it. However, I think that let's talk about the typical male's fantasy of a threesome. You got 2 females, and him. Okay, he is a heterosexual male in the women. I would assume that if the woman is allowing another woman in, that she's at the very least bi-curious. Now, let's flip the script and say, all right, there's a woman who has a fantasy and she wants 2 men in that room. For me, there's nothing like if there's all right, fine, that's my woman's fantasy. My dick not even getting hard with another dick in the room. So because that's just not what I'm into. So my point is this: if you're not into a bisexual dude, then that probably ain't gonna rock. Now, if you are fine with being with a bisexual guy, or at least a bi-curious guy, and then you propose that as a fantasy, then hey, it is what it is for y'all. But and more often than not, it's not the same. And more often than not, women are less likely to want to deal, straight women are less likely willing to deal with a bisexual man as opposed to men who will date bisexual women all day.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason that I see it as different. Now, if that's what y'all into, then cool. But
let me just say that we don't have a problem with anybody doing anything with anybody.
No, fuck who you want to fuck.
Yeah.
My thing is,
but I'm saying, but why does she have to be penalized for having a fantasy about it? I mean, she said she had a fantasy.
Well, I mean, all right. So you said, why does she have to be penalized? I will say this, and this is the world that I know in today's world, everybody is offended by everything and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. That I ain't trying to promote that because that's a bunch of bullshit to me. What I will say is this. I think that we as people have lost sight of one little tidbit in life. You are allowed to feel whatever the fuck you want to feel, like whatever the fuck you want to like, say whatever the fuck you want to say. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't come with repercussions.
Right.
You know, and it just does. You know, and that is just human nature. So I mean, she told her husband that, and he felt a way about it. Just like she's entitled, you know, yeah, she is entitled to have the fantasy that she has. And he's equally entitled to feel a way about it. And that's just something that they're gonna have to, you know, maneuver through in their marriage.
Yeah,
so
I told my wife I want another wife. You know, I take another one.
Right.
But being that I'm poor, I can't afford a second wife, so I'm stuck with the one I got.
Right. So I mean,
not stuck. Shut up! I'm telling your wife.
My thing is this. I'm not saying that you're saying why should she be penalized. My whole thing is this. It's the same energy situation. If she absolutely has every right to fantasize what she fantasizes about, and he absolutely has every right to feel a way about it, and vice versa. A man can fantasize about what he wants to fantasize about, and if your woman feel a way about it, then she has every right to feel a way about it. And you know, and that's just my honest opinion on it. You know, like if I went and told my wife, hey, you know what? I love you, but I've always had this fantasy of 3-4 chicks at the same time. You included, but you know, 3-4 chicks, and if she felt a way about that, I can't get mad at her for feeling how she feels about it, because that opens up a Pandora's box of a lot of things. Like, damn, is this motherfucker unfulfilled? Am I not enough? Am I this? Am I that? That opens up a whole myriad of things when you're talking about a relationship.
Well, if you need that, you got to ease into it anyway. Do it piece by piece, you know, work it in. You can't just bust out with it, boom, and keep the door wide open. No, slide in.
Like stick your pinky toe in the water or something. But either way, I mean, I'm not saying that it. Like to answer your question, April. No, she shouldn't be. I guess villainized for it. However, neither should he for feeling the way that he feels about it.
Right. And one thing, man, I always, because it gets brought up, and that's, well, men do it, so why can't we? Listen, I get we in the world of Me Too and this so-called, you know, equal equality and the same playing field. But the truth is, the shit is just really not like that. It's not a, well, because men do, well, why can't we? Well, you should have been a man, and then you can figure that out. But
well, I didn't get to pick my chromosome. My dad did. So,
and with that being said, that's right, because you didn't get to pick your chromosome. You now have to walk in the role in which you were built to play.
No.
Hold on, no, because just because your husband a hoe, why would you then turn around and be a hoe too? Because you're not going to be a hoe too, because you have more class than that. And I can think of 50 million other him and her situations where at the end of the day, it's just not true. It's funny that Brock asked us men first, would you date a bisexual woman? Because I ask women these questions, and I'm gonna tell you, I've yet to hear a woman when the question is asked of them, would you date a gay man, or in this case, we're gonna say a bisexual, because what happens is a lot of women will date women for the sake of dating women, then flip back over, and now they're open to dating dudes. So they swap back and forth. So I ask women this all the time who live that lifestyle. I say, would you date a man you knew who was who was previously in a relationship with another man? The answer is always no. So the ideal that you know, in other words, that little old clip sound good. She sound good. It was all cute and fun. You know, you gonna get the oohs and ahs. But I really, because I didn't see her husband up there. I don't know if that young lady was just talking or who was who on that show. But one thing I can,
But what does that have to equate with being with homosexuality? Because hell, I done seen porn and niggas done watch porn all day, every day, where one bitch is getting banged, getting stuck in a dick, and getting poked from the back,
you still
and
don't
niggas will watch
talk-
it,
we-
and
yeah, we
niggas
talking
still
about
watch
porn,
it.
man.
you still don't
Talking
But that's the same
porn.
thing. That's the
No, it's
same
not.
thing.
Porn
You
is
didn't
not
happen to
real
see me in one of them
life.
videos, did you?
Oh wow.
Oh, I'm just making sure I'm not
I
floating
did.
around.
I did.
I'm not floating around.
This nigga.
But I'm saying, but you saying you can't be in another room. I mean, it's pretty much no different. You watching two niggas fuck a bitch,
I
fuck
actually,
one bitch.
look, I can't speak for nobody but me, and that ain't my genre.
I mean, right.
That's just not my
You
genre.
don't even know.
But let's
And
not
this
act
is
like
why-
none of y'all. Let's act like y'all ain't never seen porn where, because hell, the old school porn used to show the two niggas and the one bitch.
Right. Well, look, I'm not saying that I haven't. What I'm saying is that's not my genre, and that's why I spoke for me and saying for me that wouldn't flow for me.
Right. Like
You
I
know,
mean, you
like
know,
that just wouldn't. That just
But
wouldn't flow
but did
for
it
me.
make you feel gay? But did you feel gay?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I moved on. Like,
But it didn't make you feel. It didn't change your sexuality though.
But now you're equating porn to my wife,
right,
and that's what they were talking about.
But it's the same thing though.
All right, so all right, hold on. I'm glad you said that. So what you're telling me is that watching random shit get reamed out as the same as watching another nigga put his dick
No,
in.
I'm talking about he equated it to
that's not
homosexuality.
no,
That's not homosexuality if you watching two niggas fuck a bitch.
But
Just
I
as if it was
don't.
live and in color with you.
But I don't. So you're I mean,
But I'm saying, I was asking, how does that equate to homosexuality?
For
is
me,
what I was saying.
And then that's why I said for me,
because you done for the woman.
No, I'm saying for me, if I'm in the room and there is another hard dick in the room, my dick ain't gonna be hard no more, or this nigga got to go.
But that don't make. But that doesn't make. But what does it have to do with homosexuality? Because I'm not gay. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. And the people that I know that have had threesomes, the two straight bitches that be in the room with the nigga, they don't touch each other. They be on the guy, and he be on them.
Well, that's how they do theirs. I'm talking about like most men's fantasy. I mean, I don't know.
I get it. Of course, both men. It's not two niggas and a bitch. It's two bitches and a nigga. But I mean, how does that equate to homosexuality? Because you asked us if we would date a gay man.
Well, I mean, because for me, again, that's why I said for me, if I'm in the room and I'm having sex with my woman, and there is the even remote chance that my dick might even be in the same space as another one, that's some gay shit to me. So
that's not gay unless you getting around.
How about this? How about we say this? It's not gay to you. Can we say that?
Right.
But how? So is it gay with two bitches and a man?
Can I say? Hold on. Can we agree on that? It's not gay to you.
Right. It's not gay to me.
Cool.
But I'm saying
to you. For me, the idea of potentially accidentally sword fighting with a nigga is gay to me. Now, which is why I said if there are two women, at the very least, I wouldn't even broach the subject unless I knew my woman was at the very least bi-curious. You know why? Because she might rub up against a clit. She might, the chick might want to go down on her. And if she ain't in the chicks, this shit ain't gonna work.
Right. And listen, you know, again, now me and April is on the other side of the aisle from each other. April, but listen, you be way out there with some shit. Look, man, I get it. Y'all, listen, I keep telling y'all, I get it. You all would like to think that in a perfect world, and the key word is in a perfect world, everything is even. You do, I do. You do, you did it, I did it. That shit only work in certain aspects of life. You get what I'm saying? It's not is not always the same. Because what happens is after a while, it becomes I'm making excuse for whatever that behavior is. Well, he said it, and that's why I prefaced the beginning of what I said is yes, you can say whatever you want to, but then there's wisdom to know not to say shit. If you have never had a conversation with your significant other in this area, you don't get 10 years in your marriage and all of a sudden talk about what you want to bring in if you ain't never. Because it goes back to what B said. You fuck around, you say what you want to say, and then there's a consequence to what you said. Like if y'all didn't see the video, somebody sent me a video today. A woman went on a vacation with some women. And I don't know if y'all seen this video. And apparently her and her dude got 9 kids.
God
5
damn.
with him.
Oh,
Damn.
No, 6
Well,
with
my
the
sister
dude.
has 9, so.
that's still,
And she has
God damn.
other people. Well, she goes on a vacation. She goes on a girls' trip. The dude tells her, listen, you know, I don't know these people that you're going with. This is not like you to, because we always go on trips together. We do our thing. She comes back. He has left her, literally, packed his shit up, everything that he had, and left her and her kids. And she's doing a live where she's going through the house, and now she's upset because she don't understand why her dude left. No, you don't want to understand. If he told you from the beginning, I have a problem with you going on this trip. I don't know these people that you're going to be with. I'm not comfortable with you on this trip. You decide to do it anyway. So what did he do? He decided to pack his shit and leave. Now, is he wrong for leaving her?
Well, he left the kid.
Yeah.
He left the
Some
kid.
women
Yep.
argue,
He broke up his
well,
family.
some
Yeah.
women argue, well, they don't see a problem with what he did. I say this, and I realize even from just my living, and I guarantee you a lot of men who, if they sat back and thought about it, we really not thought about like that. And that's why a lot of times on the show, you notice I'm like, but what about his feelings? But what about him? Now, she was all big and bad and left. But I say that to go back to Brock point. Yeah, you can do what the fuck you want to do, but understand that there's a consequence behind everything. She said, okay, I'm going to go on and go. And she come back to a house that has nothing but children. So in a perfect world, we would say, oh, man, that ain't that deep. But apparently to him, it was deep.
Everybody got their thing.
Right. Apparently to him, there was a problem, which he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to leave. And again, you know, it's you know, people who've seen that clip that we shared, you know, they may have mixed feelings about it. But I will say this before we go on to our next subject. I've yet to meet a woman who is bold enough that they told a dude that they have fantasies of having sex with other men. They might think the shit, but I don't know a dude to this day that can say, man, my girl told me that bullshit. Ever. And I know a lot of men. Never once. What matter of fact, let me poll the men on this show. Any of you brothers have had y'all wives to say, I want another man rubbing my back while you rubbing my head?
My ex.
I've never heard that.
My ex.
Oh,
Keyword
yeah.
being keyword ex.
Okay. You see, there you have it right there. There you have it. Women like that are not the rule, they are the exception. And to equate, well, men pressure women, that is not true.
That is totally true.
No, it ain't.
Not in all instances. Not in all instances.
Listen,
I'm not going to
women-
say it doesn't happen at all. I'm not going to.
They passive aggressively do it.
Don't hold on, B. Because see, every time
But don't we?
I hear
Don't we? Hold on. Don't we also say that people do to you what you allow?
I can believe that they do it,
yeah, but
They
the key word
passively
is
aggressively do the shit.
especially if they know how the person feels about them and they willing to do anything. They will. They'll do, get them to do it.
Exactly. Knowing damn well the woman don't want to do it.
But in a relationship, is that manipulation? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah,
she
that's
still
manipulation.
wants to know.
It is.
Mhm.
It is. If you know she don't get down like that,
You might as
and
well
you
be done
and-
raped her for all of that. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
if you know she don't get down like that, and you
We're
pushing the
going into
issue,
something different now.
right?
Because-
like
But
rape.
but that's why I led with what I led with. Where if I'm not even, I gotta be. If I'm a broach that subject, I need to know that my partner is she's either bi-curious at the very least, or bisexual, or I'm not gonna even broach the subject.
Right. And we
Because
gotta
at that point, it's pointless for me. Because I mean I hear what April was saying that people done it and the women don't touch each other. Well, that ain't my fantasy. My fantasy is that they all over each other too. Damn it.
Yes.
So
That's what you see in the porns. But the people that I know that have had threesomes, they don't touch the woman. They just do. The man touches both of them.
And I'm gonna tell
yeah,
you,
well, hey, you might slip up. You might slip up on a titty or something. So you might want to at least be in the titties.
I would tell whoever told you
So-
that they're a straight liar. Because
I mean, if they bold enough to tell me they did a threesome, I mean, shit, what would they have to hide?
People leave key facts out, but I mean either way, whatever.
I have a friend that's a swinger. Her and her husband, her and her former mate were swingers, and she never touched the women. They touch him.
that's a lie. That's a lie. You ain't swinging then. That's not swinging. It's the only person.
No, swinging, they would swap. They would swap, either do threesomes or swap spouses.
Okay.
All right, so can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah. There we go.
Because
Meet us some shit.
Because that right there, look, to each their own. I ain't knocking nobody for what they do at all. But if somebody were to ask me my opinion, one of my boys, hey, bro, me and my wife are thinking about doing, the whole swap thing. This dude, wife bad as hell, and I want to hit her. My bruh, you being very short-sighted. You're being very short-sighted because what's gonna happen? Murphy's Law being what Murphy's Law is.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna sit there and watch this other nigga fuck your wife in all the ways that you can. And that is gonna ruin. That is gonna ruin your goddamn relationship. You're gonna be walking her ass across the room like the old boy, and baby boy. and get up butt naked in the morning. Right. Right. He gonna be giving her the Melvin while you sitting there not even touching the crest of his wife shit. She done made your ass another 2 minutes. And you sitting there watching your wife get fucked. Like fucked. Hey, this is not gonna go well, bro. That would be my advice to both. Hey, better hold on to the one you got.
I just don't see it. That's why, I'm gonna start looking for little different shows like that because I think that should be more for applause and
No, I think in today's society, people are absolutely experimenting more and doing things of that nature. And some people having fun and some people having some rude awakening. And
yeah,
I'm experimenting with staying in the house.
You know what? I think that's kind of like the Gen X's and the more seasoned millennials, like them first 4-5 years of millennials that pretty much identify as Gen X's. We kind of stay out the way. That's our whole life. We just stay the fuck out the way.
Yeah, I spent my whole life outside, so now I just want to be in the crib.
Yeah. But shit, let's hit that next topic. What you got for us, boss?
Man, listen, we're gonna keep this little old train rolling. Next, in this exciting week of the Petty Crew, we're gonna go to this next, man. We're gonna go to 50/50 comments made by his wife, Gabrielle Union. For you guys that didn't know, earlier this week, a interview surfaced of Gabrielle Union speaking on how they handle their finances. Then we have Dwayne Wade, who comes back and he clarifies how they get down. I have that interview from for Dwayne Wade, so let me pull that up real quick. I got that already ready and good to go. Here we go. Let's see.
Can't hear it.
You can't hear it? Hold on, hold. Damn, it keeps saying that the video has no sound. Let me find the actual audio. Hold on. I don't like that. I'm gonna see if I can play it through my phone because I don't understand why these videos don't have audio. Let me see if there's an audio with if I go through my phone. Let me see.
First of all, let's
do you guys hear anything?
My wife have 20 to 50 responsibilities.
Do you guys hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it.
Okay.
She has her dad. She has a lot of things that she's responsible for.
Right.
You know what she does?
Right.
She pays 100% of that.
Right.
You know what I do? I pay 100% of my life. When our life come together, my wife is a working actress who spends time away from the family to go work,
do our job.
Build. Right. We decided together.
Can't hear nothing now.
I mean, she was like, "You will never say that to me again."
Okay, you know why? Because it's tied to my mic. Yeah.
We can hear it now.
Okay.
You will never say my house again.
Wow.
She said, "You can say that in the arena." And so in our life, our home, 50/50, we purchased it together.
Right.
50 in our household is, first of all, let's say I have 20 to 50 responsibilities.
Right.
And my wife have 20 to 50 responsibilities. And when I say that, that means she has a mother, she has her sisters, she has her
Let me
dad,
know when I need to
she
go
has-
to the
she has
next
a lot of
clip.
things that she's responsible for.
Right.
You know what she does?
Right.
She pays 100% of that.
Right.
You know what I do? I pay 100% of my life. When our life come together, my wife is a working actress who spends time away from the family to go work,
do our job.
Build.
Right.
We decided together, because I think I said one time we was in Miami, I said something about it being my house that I paid for. My wife looked at me, she was like, "You will never say that to me again when it's something that we share." And so my wife was like, "Our daughter, anything that goes on with our daughter, 50/50, we share it together." Now, it's some things I pick up versus some things she pick up, but she does something I do something.
Right.
If we take a yacht trip, we could do it 50/50, or I can do it myself. But my wife is a working woman.
Right.
She's a boss and an independent woman in her own life.
Right.
She's like, "I'm gonna put, you know what, that little 200 that you was gonna spend on this, I'm gonna throw something else on there and we're gonna go on a bigger trip. We're gonna ball out." Like, this is my wife. Right. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I like having a wife that's like, "That's cool, you can do that." The house we live in, thank God, in Hidden Hills, nice house.
Right.
Whatever millions. We could have had a nice house on my 50% too.
Right.
It'd have been nice.
Nice.
She was like, "No, let me put something else on and let us live a little different."
Oh, yeah, they got a little bigger.
So we probably share 3 things in our life that we 50/50 on.
Right.
Everything else, I'm 1000%, and she's 1000%.
Right.
And so we decided that certain pieces of our life we would share in it. Our daughter, anything that goes on with our daughter, 50/50, we share it together. Now, it's some things I pick up versus some things she pick up, but she does something I do something.
Right.
I struggle with that still, just because I
I think I just have more
Okay, we
responsibility,
got.
for my money. So I get nervous, like, oh God, that movie didn't open, well, what does that mean? Am I going to have enough to hold everybody up? And everyone's like, it's coming, like, calm down. And I'm trying to find peace in the journey, not using my anxiety and scarcity mindset to be my engine, which is hard.
Okay. Now you guys heard it. Sorry about that, man. I guess it's somehow connected to my mic or whatever. But you guys heard Dwayne Wade and you heard Gabrielle Union. So let's go with the ladies. What's up? Talk to me, April.
It's fair. I mean, shit, when somebody traumatizes you into thinking that they can take something from you, I totally understand it. Like, if she's saying that she's that way now because of somebody saying this is mine, or, in X, Y, and Z, well, no, I guarantee you nobody will never get that chance to do that to me again. But in our household, we have the motto of just pay the shit if it's due. And so that's how we live. So if that's 50-50, then I guess that's what we do in our household too.
Easy
and I don't
way.
have a problem with it.
Okay. That's why I like you. Ray, what you think?
Well, all the money that we have is our money together. It doesn't matter who makes the most, as long as the bills get paid. I'm trying to get Juanice out of this thing where she doesn't kind of, when I say things, I say us. She's not really there in her head, not to where she would say it. This is ours. I guess it takes some people a minute to get there, but for me, everything is ours. There's no my or yours. The only thing that's yours might be them clothes you're wearing, because I'm not wearing those. So other than that, yeah, we good with the money.
Okay. B, what's up? What you think?
When me and my wife got married, I won't name names, but an individual close to me, whose opinion I very much valued, told me. We were talking about bank accounts. And at that point, I was used to having, my money and her money. And all this individual said to me was, hey, I ain't telling you what to do, but just understand that if you start apart, you end apart. If you start together, you'll be together. I say that to say this. When my wife and I got married, we became one. Again, if that works for them, that works for them, and however they need to, map out their ideology. But for me, it's our money. It ain't my money and her money, and it's ours. Because at the end of the day, I get what he's saying. Oh, she has her responsibilities, he has his, and that's fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, it's kind of coming out of the same. In my mind, it's coming out of the same bank. So my wife has responsibilities that, mean things to her. I have responsibilities that mean things to me, but they still affect our household. And if those things mean something to her to an extent to where it's gonna, cost us monetarily, then I need to give a shit about it. I need to give enough of a shit about it to understand it and perhaps help provide the aid to it so that we can get that knocked out and start to focus on what we need to focus on collectively. But either way, it's a us thing. For me, it's a us thing. It's not a your money, my money thing. It ain't a 50-50 thing. It's a this what we got, what we doing with it thing.
Gotcha. I'm like with everybody else, when I seen it, I instantly understood it. I think what he was saying basically sums up everything that we're saying. And I do agree with him One of the reasons why I really just never lived with a woman is because I never want to hear get up out my shit. So I can relate when he says he told Gabrielle Union, "This is my house," and then she goes and says, oh, "Okay, well from now on, I'm putting in on so it won't never be a this is your house or this is my house. No, this is our shit." Ultimately, at the end of the day, when it comes to relationships, is as they say, to each his own. It's definitely a conversation to have financially when you're getting to getting intimate with somebody, holding the money conversation. I never been one who was big on, we had to have joint bank accounts. As long as these joint bills are paid, I could give a damn less because I'm not looking at shit like that anyway. I just expect, whoever I'm with to take care of their business. Point blank, it's simple. If you say you're going to handle these things, I expect you to handle these things. And what he's talking about is no different than the average Joe. That's why I said what I said before we even jump to this, because see, you have too many basic ass women who has a problem with so-called 50-50. My ex-wife tried to pull that shit. I say, but when you met me, you knew what it was from the jump. I make that type of shit very clear. I'm not here to take care of grown ass women. You're going to contribute, because if you're not contributing, what are you really adding to me? Absolutely nothing. I'm not getting married or getting in a relationship so I can collect extra bills.
Okay, so I have a question for you in that regard, because you said a word that was interesting. You said contribute. What does contribute always equate to something monetarily for you?
Well, it depends on what we're talking about. If we're
All right, so we're talking about a woman. We're talking about your woman. This your lady, your wife, whatever. Y'all are cohabitating. Does the contribution always mean something monetarily, or just adding substance or adding a benefit to the house?
Like if you make the money, but she know how to flip it.
Well, okay.
Not even just that, because I'll give you an example if you want. If you want me to, I can give you a quick example of what I'm saying.
You can give me a quick example.
Okay, there's if I'm a high earner, but you can hold the house down. Hey, I got the kids. When you get home, I got the food. I can take care of the home duties. I got the home front straight. You just go out and make bread. Is that a contribution to you?
In a sense. And the reason why I say that is because for you guys that don't know, my ex-wife is from Florida. She didn't immediately get a job when she got here, even when she was putting in applications before I moved her here. I handled all the bills and everything. So that's why I said it depends on that situation at the time. Now, April says something that I do agree with. If I'm the high earner in the house, or just the earner in general, yes, you're going to have to, if you're not contributing financially, you're going to have to contribute at the house, because then again, the question is going to be, well, why are you here? So yes, if you say, you know what, I got the house, I got groceries, I'm doing all of that, then then at that point, you're being something other than a bill. Now, but I'm going to add to that, because I asked this question on social media before that was finally answered by a woman. April said, I'll flip my money. If this is the role of a woman who's at home, her job is to help her husband her dude flip his money. Yeah, you taking care of the house and all that, but if he's the breadwinner, at all costs, it is your duty to help him maintain whatever his financial situation is. Because by you helping him in that aspect, then you're contributing. But if you just go sit up and
drain the money,
drain, you ain't really adding nothing to it, then no, I'm not even gonna consider you at all. It is what it is. I said all the time on social media, I'm not fucking with broke ass women. And I say that the same way women who got money talk about broke ass men. And so no, I'm not. And what I mean by broke is, I mean it financially, I mean it spiritually, I mean it emotionally, all the way around the board. So to your example, no, she wouldn't have to contribute anything financially if she's making sure everything else around the house is cool. And you and I know, as men, we know this to be true. We'll do anything for a woman who at the end of the day make us feel like we are needed, we are wanted. And so it goes
Absolutely.
it goes a little bit deeper, because when you say, because if a woman says, listen, I can't contribute financially, but here's the whole list of shit that I can do. I'm gonna make sure every day you come in, you're gonna have food in your stomach. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bathe you every night. Do you prefer the morning or nighttime? See, that's a whole different mindset.
in the front or the back?
Right. In the front. Uh-oh. Hold on. Y'all hear this shit real quick. Y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Don't worry about it, Brock. I'm trying to play with this damn sound.
Man.
Yeah, but again, I would say that the situation, it depends on the situation. Like I said, before my ex-wife got here, I already told her I got you. Because otherwise, what she wanted to do was wait until she got a job. And I'm like, you think I'm finna wait till you get a job for me to enjoy my wife? You done lost your goddamn mind. You ain't gonna sit in this house, take care of this shit until you find a job. And that's actually how it went, because I was able to take care of all the bills regardless. And so her becoming part of the family, all she's gonna do is add whatever it is, her little flavor to the mix. But then we got some women, because we like to talk both sides of the coin. But you got some women who, like I said, they got a problem doing 50-50 and they basic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it again. This is a millionaire with a millionaire wife, and they still play the game of, nah, I'm gonna put in on that shit because you ain't gonna never tell me again what's yours and what's mine. And I can respect that. Matter of fact, I can respect Gabrielle Union, because contrary to what folks might believe, I do like Gabrielle. I am a fan of Gabrielle Union. I do believe she's one of the most honest, honest as she can be. One of the most transparent women in Hollywood. She had me when she made it very clear, I don't mind doing freaky shit to my nigga. I was in love after that. I'm like, everything Gabrielle Union, I think the only thing I didn't do was buy a t-shirt. But no, I mean, I can respect that they do that. And again, in the words of Brock, what floats your boat, what floats your boat, and I guess that's will be what it is. My whole point in this clip is that regular basic ass women ain't got shit to say now. You shouldn't have any problem with contributing to your man's home. So my question for the panel is, if these millionaires can do this and it's working, where are we falling short as just average ass folks, and why are we arguing back and forth over 50-50?
Because I think that you have a generation of
selfish ass people.
2000s I'll call it, 2023 mindset women, and it's not just women, it's men too. But 2023 mindset women who want a 1960s man. And you can't have it both ways.
I agree. I do agree. But you know what? Because I don't hear Miss April O'Neil now. He just said it. You can't have it both ways.
What you mean you can't have what both ways?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
you can.
you can't have the mindset of wanting, oh, you need to cater to me and pay all the bills and all of this if you're not willing. You want what's defined as a traditional man, but don't want to be a traditional woman. That shit don't work.
Right.
All right, yeah.
No, you can't have it both ways. You can't be a new age woman and want a traditional man and expect that shit to fly.
Right.
Right. That's why I'm not really a new age woman.
Well,
I mean, so if you cool.
I wasn't raised to do that. No, you. I ain't never pumped my own gas. I don't take out the trash. Not on duty, Craig.
Yeah. And so that's my thing. That it's you can't sit here and say, "Oh, well, I ain't finna be cooking." All right, fine. You know what? All right. First and foremost, I'm not saying that every woman should or has to know how to cook or whatever. You know what? To each their own. What I will say is this: in today's age, it's kind of hard for anybody to have the excuse. You want to learn how to cook something? Go to fucking YouTube.
Yeah,
that's right.
So to say, well, I can't cook. All right, fine. Can you order some shit? Can you arrange?
Right.
Can you arrange? But I don't even need you to cook it, but can you put it on the plate and arrange it and make it look as if you prepared some shit? So that's my whole thing. I think you have a lot of people who want a traditional mindset from their partner, but they want to be modern age in their philosophy as well. And there are a lot of men who are guilty of that as well. They want a traditional woman, but then be hollering about 50-50. And it's like, bruh, you can't expect her to be in here cooking and cleaning and shit, but then expecting her to be running you half of the rent too.
And you playing video games all day.
Yeah, right. Like my nigga, if you want that traditional woman, you gotta be a traditional man. And if you're a woman and you want that traditional man, you better damn well be that traditional woman.
Okay, I got a question, B.
Okay.
Then else a time. Okay, with that being said, my question is this. I don't know, I love Michelle Obama. I think she fine as shit. Hey, Miss Michelle. I'm gonna be tweeting you tonight, matter of fact. But I watched her clips and I love her clips. Because if you listen to her, and as much as black women love her to death, I didn't see anybody praising her. Now I didn't see nobody downing her either. But
they ain't gonna down Michelle. That's one thing that I don't care if they disagree with it. They're not gonna down Michelle.
Yeah, but I definitely didn't see nobody praising her in her approach toward raising her children, because she made it very clear that I am not my kids' friend. So I can just imagine how it really go behind closed doors, because she makes it clear, if they don't learn it here, it's gonna be way worse outside. So no, I'm not their friends. But then she said something when it came to her and Barack's relationship. And she said, we have never been 50-50. Never. Not that they didn't do things together, but in their relationship, it's not 50-50. It could be, 60-40, 30, whereas, as you can see, Miss Michelle, and she says it, I had to slow down on what I was doing to focus on what the head of the house was doing. If you're watching that, you'll catch that shit when it goes, because it just went over some women's head. Michelle Obama said, I had to slow down on what I was doing in my career because of what was going on with my husband and his career.
But relationships aren't 50-50. Majority of the time, women do the most.
relationship wise. You know, they give more. They built that way. They care more. You know, it just be like that. But you're supposed to support whoever your partner is, and whatever y'all do, it ends up being 100% because y'all doing it together.
Right. Well, ultimately, it's going to come out together. I'm speaking from the sense of you have, okay, like Brock said, okay, you want her to be traditional, but then you want her to be 50-50. I say they one and the same. When did not taking care of the home together become new? Because I don't care if it's I take little Chris to football practice and you pick him up. I mean, I could just go down the list of shit where it's, okay, you did this, but then I did this. It's still going to all be 50-50. I mean, now, unless we're talking strictly, I mean, across the board, a man who's going to take care of all the bills, if that's so-called considered traditional, and okay, her as a woman, all she's going to do is take care of,
the home and kids.
Yeah, family, kids, you go cook, you go clean. That woman is going to have a problem doing that. She going to still have a problem. She's going to still have a problem with that agreement. Baby, I got all the bills. I'm going to pay everything financially. Since we talking traditional, because I didn't know a man taking care of all the bills was traditional, because I thought men and women, they just do what they do together.
Well, the problem with that is back in the day, if a man left a woman, she didn't have nothing, no income, no job, no nothing. He left, and her and the kids were destitute.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Ooh,
that's a very good point. But we also have to look at the problem of where it will be today. And here's where I believe that people in their mind, idealistically speaking, would want it to be the same, but there's a difference. Fellas, if you make all the money and your woman is playing the role that of a traditional woman, would you have an issue with that?
Hell no.
Okay. Now I know the women on this show probably wouldn't have an issue with that if the roles were reversed. However, I would venture to argue that most women, if you say, hey, cool, you want it to be, this way, let's flip the script. You're going to be the breadwinner and your husband is going to be a house husband. Are you cool with that? I would argue that most women would say no. And the reason I say that is because a lot of women aren't necessarily cool with dating below their financial earnings. So if you're not cool with that already, and then you got a house husband, it's not the same. So if you can say that you want it to be equal or whatever the case may be, but do you really want what you're asking for? Would you be cool with your husband staying out? And even if your husband was Mary fucking Poppins, house is spotless, that motherfucker got a banging ass meal for you, the kids is picked up, bathed by the time you get home, your bath water drawn, would you still look at him as the man in your life? Or would you look at him differently because he's not earning? And I do think that in some instances, that's where men and women view each other differently.
I will agree with that.
Now, being that I've been a stay-at-home wife before, it's draining as fuck. So at that point, I would have traded at my husband, me going to work and him staying at home, because he wouldn't be able to do it.
Show, you're different. And that's why I said the women on the show.
I mean, hold on now, don't get it twisted. Not for long though, but still. But that's just because a lot of men has never been a stay-at-home spouse and don't know what it's like and the work that it goes into being one, and it's still a job within itself.
Man, I be in this bitch butt naked with an apron on.
Shut up. Not when you had to do. Not when you have an infant and you can't fall asleep with an infant.
You know I'm being facetious when I say that, but you get my point.
I know, but no, I would, yeah. And in hell, now I'm a stay at home working mom. It's boy.
Okay, so
and plus, I wouldn't even trust my husband to stay at home with my damn kids.
I'll ask you this though. Give me your honest opinion with what you see on social media, and combining that with both women you know and women you don't. Would you say that the majority of women would be okay with their husbands being stay-at-home husbands? And we're talking about the same group of women who wouldn't necessarily date a man who doesn't earn equal to or more than what they earn.
No, they wouldn't. But I believe if the woman had a high-paying job, it probably wouldn't bother her. But then again, daycare costs a lot of fucking money, so they would be saving tons of money, and I'm sure that would be, an argument, as far as like, well, at least y'all saving money by not having to put the kids in daycare. But typically, no, a woman is not going to be down with the man staying at home, unless it was something that they could see work out for them, if it was in the best interest of the household. But just dry ass saying he woke up one day and he don't want to work no more, he want to be a rapper or a writer, like some people that I know that have said some shit like that. Yeah, no, get your ass up and go to work.
Right. And so, if I may be, I have
Go ahead.
the same mindset when it comes to women. For that reason, get your ass up and go to work. And one thing, this is real. When in my marriages, I'd never have expectations. And what I mean by that is I only govern people by what they say. I'm only measuring you by what you say versus what you do. I only thing that I tell, and it ain't gonna never change, I would tell you when you can stop working. But you don't come into my situation thinking, oh shit, I got it made. I ain't gotta do nothing. All I gotta do is just cook and clean. Nah, no, you go put some skin in the game first. Let me be the one to turn around and tell you, hey baby, you done worked your butt off. You know what? I want you to sit back and I got it all. I'm gonna do that because that's what happened. For this reason, if most women have a problem with men being at home, now we're going back to that double standard. Why the hell can a man not have a problem with having a woman that stay at home? Because at the end of the day, most women are not really want to be stay-at-home mothers because they just want to be nurturing to their home. They don't want to work. Let me just be real with you about it. Most women don't want to work. That's why they like to make sure they find a nigga.
They not like April. April understands that being a stay-at-home mom is a task in itself. A lot of them think that ain't. Some of them don't understand that. They think that they just at the crib.
Yeah. Oh, I ain't got to go to work. Ooh, my husband got it. Hey, girl, let me call you right back. Let me get this dinner on the stove. Babe, what you did all day? Because I'm going to be pissed when I come in and I'm going to ask you, what have you been doing all day? See, that there for me in real life lies my issue. Because if I can go to a job and put 12 hours in, that means I work 12 hours. I'm going to ask, what the fuck have you been doing for 12 hours? And at the end of the day, it's like how I see my caregivers. Like this young lady, this woman that left earlier today. Now I'm paying for 10 hours of service. Mm-hmm. But it only add up to damn near 3 hours of work. You see what I'm saying? Because you go bathe me in the morning. It's gonna take about 30 minutes, 45, bathing, showering and shit, getting dressed. I'm not gonna eat breakfast because I drink a Boost in the morning. Then I'm gonna eat between 12 and 1. So you're gonna feed me something. Okay. Okay, now what? And it's no different than being married to a woman. Okay, now what? So if I'm putting in a hard 12, but all you putting in it might add up to 3 hours in that day. Who's really getting the short end of the stick?
Hey, man.
And that's what happens.
You know, we can get your caregiver an extra hour. She can bathe me, and that could be one of her hours. She ain't doing nothing for you.
You know what? I'm gonna just take Easy Ray up off this line.
You know what?
You ignorant.
I think Easy Ray got a point.
I think that boy said, you know what? Give us a work. But no, seriously though, that's how I look at that. Because I think that's most men on the reason why they will have a problem with their wife just sitting at home. The question is, what are you going to be doing? I only know of one other young lady who literally was a stay-at-home wife. But when I tell you, she did everything. I mean, she did everything. Her husband, I forgot what he did, but whatever he did, after so long, he had to do modules and shit and do all that. She did it for him. House they had beautiful as shit. Stayed clean as a whistle. I mean, so you can see she's working every day. Baby, what do you need? What he ain't answering to nothing because she's done everything. Now, if you're gonna be that woman, which again goes back to what B was asking, if you're gonna be that woman that literally says, while you work, I'm gonna make your life easy because I'm gonna take care of everything else that you would normally do. Hell yeah, you can sit at the house all day. All day, baby. Do you need me to go to the store for anything? Oh, you know what? If at the end of the day, all I gotta do is raise up a remote, you damn right you can sit at the house all day. Because you're showing that you're doing something every day. The house is always clean. The kids, hell, if you're running bubble bath water for me every night, damn it, I'm gonna be like, man, go on and take your ass a break or something. I mean, because again, a lot of men, they don't have a problem with their girls staying at home when they feel like they're coming home to something that was worth it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I can bust my butt, and I can see she busts her butt as well. Because I believe there is the difference in what you was asking, where women would say, hell no, because them just like us, she's probably saying, well, what the hell is he gonna do at the house all day? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if a woman would ask, well, what the hell are you gonna do at the house all day? Why can't a man ask, well, what in the hell are you gonna do at the house all day? If you're not helping me multiply what I have, because my mother loved to say, it's a woman's job. You give her a house, she make it a home. You'd heard that whole deal.
You give her food, she'll make it a meal.
Yeah, and all that. And I hate
you
to
give her a seed, she'll make it a child.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, mama, every woman don't do that, but I get what you be saying though, because I have to tell my mother all the time.
Well, no. Your mother's right. There's one key word to that. Woman, not little girl. Woman.
Okay. Technicality, yes, a woman, and you're right. So again, this can go down a big old rabbit hole.
But the reason why, that's why I can relate to what Gabby said about the whole, you'll never get a chance to say this is mine, because that's one reason why I stopped being a stay-at-home wife, because it's like motherfuckers feel like they the breadwinner and they can say, do whatever and make that little slick comment, well, I'm the one paying the bills. All right, motherfucker, I'll show you. I can go to work too now.
Well, let me speak on that though. And now speaking to the fellas, look, man, if you are the breadwinner, just like Boss Hog said, for the ladies, yeah, it's some shit you think and it's some shit that you say, and you gotta understand that there's repercussions for that.
That's right.
This applies to that as well, fellas. If you're the breadwinner, you're the breadwinner, but part of accepting that role is also understanding that at no point are you supposed to rub that woman's face in it, especially if she's adding value to your home.
Yeah.
And that does that, and as we clearly stated, that's not always a monetary thing. So if you're the breadwinner and you've been blessed to be in a place to where she doesn't have to work and she's, taking care of stuff, I don't give a damn how thick an argument get. My should not come out of your mouth because you've accepted that role.
Right.
You've accepted that role.
Hey.
So that shit ain't cool. If you're the breadwinner, I don't give a damn if you are the breadwinner. You get out my house. No, this is our house. If anything, you know what? Fuck it. We both leave. We let's get out our house. How stupid that shit sounds.
Yeah.
So like seriously, fellas, if you out here and you the breadwinner, don't use that shit as a tool to control and manipulate your woman. If that woman is being a woman to you, no, that shit's not cool, bro.
Am I technically the breadwinner if I'm a pimp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Shut up.
Too easy right there.
Absolutely. Because you send the product out and I was trying to be serious and I can't no.
And it's like, and then some women feel like, they asking for permission to do this because they know that they don't really have the funds directly out of their pocket to pay for. So it's like, no, you're not gonna son me. I'll get out and get it.
But
Hell, I'll sell my ass if that's the case.
But that goes back to the whole hour thing. There have been times in me and my wife's relationship where I've been the primary breadwinner, and there's been times where she's been, and I've been between shit. And one thing that we didn't do was try to hold money over each other's head because guess what? We started out together. So shit, you got paid, we got paid. I need to get some shit. Guess what? It's in the account. I don't need to ask for fucking permission. She don't need to ask for fucking permission. I mean, I got paid. Go get what you need to get. Let's just be mindful of what we got going on.
Yeah.
So it ain't none of that. Like, what? I'm not finna sit here and give you a fucking allowance. Guess what? If we gonna break it down like that, I'm gonna give you an allowance. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give my damn self one too, and we that's gonna be our little fuck off money.
Right.
And then we gonna have our money over here, whether I earned it or she earned it or we earned it. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
But to hold that over somebody, this is. And I'm pretty sure what happened. They got into it about something, and D-Wade was like, "This is my house," and that shit is cringe for me. Cause nigga, y'all married. That's y'all house.
And Gabrielle said, "Hold up,
not again." So I understand where she was coming from. I understand where April is coming from. I'm just saying for the fellas that's out there, if you're the breadwinner and you hold shit like that over your woman, that's some bitch shit.
Right. Oh, yeah. Definitely agree. Matter of fact, it goes back to that the same way you got grown men, you got little ass boys. And and who would to me, I equate that almost to a little girl holding sex from her husband. I view them on the same lines. I don't care what we get into it about. Don't do that. Don't turn around and I'm gonna lock that down.
Gonna weaponize the loving.
Right. And I agree. And any man that's listening, you are less than a man if you're telling your woman in any shape, form, or fashion about what you control and what's yours, and I paid for it. I do think that's some whole ass nigga shit. Just so y'all know, we do get on niggas too.
Yeah,
we get on men too, because you do have that situation. And then you got some men who they want a stay-at-home wife for that reason.
Yeah, and again, that's whole shit. Because now you're trying to control and manipulate somebody, and that ain't what it's supposed to be about. You know what I'm saying? If I need, if it's more advantageous for us for you to stay at home, I'm not finna treat you less than because you holding the crib down. Because guess what? Now that takes the stress off of me. You can, for all intents and purposes, I can wake up in the morning, brush my teeth, wash my face, wash my ass. You can slap me on the ass, and I can just go out and make money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't gotta worry about the household being held down Because I know when I get home, the kids are straight, the house is straight. You know, if somebody needs to come and do maintenance or whatever, it's straight. I ain't gotta. I can focus on earning. That's a fucking benefit.
Yeah.
So don't treat the person that is holding the house down less than because you make the bread. You know, if anything, they're helping to allow you to make the fucking bread.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something. I shit you not. When I was going through my divorce, man, now I gotta find shit in the house. I don't know where shit at. I ain't know where seasoning was. I was like, damn, I gotta cook this shit for myself, and I'm like, for the kids, I'm looking, where the hell she put this? You know, because I'm one of those. You know, I'm not gonna say I just believe when you're going into a relationship, and I've said this before, even going into marriage, you know, the playbook should already be put out there. You get what I'm saying? That means we done already talked about finances. We've talked about everything under the sun. We have got into this relationship, understand what we're going to bring to that relationship. Okay, what are we going to bring into this marriage? And that's why I said I rarely use the word, if I ever use the word, of expectations. What I done learned in relationships is that expectations go out the door. You shouldn't have none in the first place. And that's why I measure the women by their words and their actions. And it's no different than a woman should with a man, because a nigga can tell you whatever he want to tell you. But if he's still cheating on your ass, he ain't showing you what he's saying. And you can only measure him by that. And then you make your choices on what you're going to do based on what you see, not off some shit that, you know, that don't have nothing to do with nothing. And so with that being said, man, we have had a great show tonight. You know, we talk our shit the way we talk our shit. Thank everybody for tuning in. I do want to remind you guys, we are still around. I know after a while it's like, oh, they still here. Yes, we're still here. Please make sure you like and share. And what I might do, I might just stop streaming personally to my Facebook page and just keep it on all the Petty Crew pages, because I think I'm cheating viewers by giving them personal access to a show that I need you to click on and watch. When you know you ain't gotta go to the Petty Crew because you can see the same show on my page.
Right.
But you know, I do that way, you know, I can let everybody know like now, hey, we're still here, we still relevant, we still go bring the heat. I meant what I said. I honestly think we should take a trip. We should find one of these shows that be on. And honestly, I think we should be in the audience so we can be like, that's bullshit. You
I'm
know,
with it.
I'm dead serious. I mean this shit on my kids. I really do. I don't be surprised if I got some shit in the inbox and I'm like, hey, what's up? Let's hit this. Because I get the ace metaphors and I get all of these dudes and women who are talking about relationships and shit. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not impressed. I'm not. I be praying and wishing. I'm like, I wish maybe I should have went into journalism and it'll look a little bit nicer, whatever you want to call it. Because all these folks, you know, I don't know them to be regular niggas as far as I know. As far as I know, they could be just regular, you know, college students who done, you know, got a little degree in journalism or didn't complete it, but they know folks to do what they do. Because I'm still wondering how the fuck they getting all these shows. And I'm just saying, give us one opportunity, and I guarantee you, man, we'll be the best thing smoking. So I'm not lying, man. I am literally trying to see when they have all these little old shows and shit, when they doing these relationships conversations, because I'm like, ain't nobody talking no real shit until we talk our shit. I'm not saying that because I'm being biased. I'm really not. I'm not saying that to be biased. I say that with a straight face, and I've said it 1,000 times. I done seen what happened when we show up on shows. We take over them shows. Sadly, it's almost that thing. What's that rapper with the Roots? Black Thought.
Mm-hmm.
Black Thought ain't finna get too many features.
Nah.
They're not gonna put him on. They're not gonna ask him to do a feature because every time he does a feature, he shut that bitch down. The last feature I know he did was Toby, and I hope I say his last name right because I'm a fan of his. Toby Nwigwe out of Houston, Texas. That's the last feature I seen him do, relevant feature anyway. And so, that's how I view, us as a team, as personalities. If you guys see some shit, put it in a group because I mean exactly what I said. Like, I really wish we had the space that somehow they get in this space to talk their shit. And like I said, all due respect to the brother, and I'm just thinking about him and others like him, and I'm saying, we can do that shit and we do it better. But anyways, listen, gonna turn it over to the first lady, Miss April. Any last words for us?
Yes. Never let a motherfucker claim that it's his house and put you out of it. Get it on. Y'all go in half, 50-50.
Oh, God. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. I'm scared to hear what Easy Ray got to say. Damn, Easy. Come on.
Man, I keep it simple. Love your neighbor, love yourself. Say simple.
Already. Okay.
And what else?
That's
I
it.
know you got to follow up.
No foot massages, no threesomes, none of that.
Hey, brother. Listen, I am Boss Hog. Again, you can find me at my handles, Hayes Who, Facebook, Hayes Who, Instagram. Again, I love you guys. Thank all of you guys for tuning in. Please make sure you like, share, our show. And with that being said, man, I'm gonna turn it over to B Rock for the last word for the show.
Man, we appreciate y'all. I don't have words for the continued love that y'all show us, man. It's just very much appreciated. So keep tuning in, keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. Follow us at all of our respective social media handles. Y'all know them all. We are at The Petty Crew at all social media outlets, as well as following us individually. Continue to rock with us as we continue to rock with y'all. If you got any content you want us to touch on, by all means, we are open. Send it to us. We'll put it in our inbox, and we'll make sure we touch on it. But until next week, we love you, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe out there, and we see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.